Hello guys, I'm Andres from Wise Workflows AI. Welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to explore a new passive income opportunity by ElevenLabs with their new program called Voice Actor Payouts, which basically involves creating a voice clone of your own voice with just 30 minutes of recordings, sharing that voice with ElevenLabs user base and getting paid every time someone uses your voice. We are going to do a deep dive on this opportunity, take a look at some realistic income expectations and much more. But first, let's see a short intro explaining what this program is about by ElevenLabs themselves.
Introducing Voice Actor Payouts. Now you can create an AI voice and earn while you sleep.
I can do what?
Just upload as little as 30 minutes of audio, fill in a few details, and our AI can create a voice that's ready to be used in projects worldwide.
But how do I make money?
You decide. Simply choose our default system or set your own personalized custom rate, and you'll earn as your voice is used.
Okay, but couldn't they have me say anything?
Our content moderators track usage, and you can enable automated filters for extra protection, giving you peace of mind as you earn.
Create, control, earn. Got it.
So let your AI voice work for you. Add your voice to the ElevenLabs Voice Library today, narrating content, stories, podcasts, and so much more, all across the globe.
Cool. Let's get going.
Head to the Voice Lab today and add your voice to the growing voice library.
Okay, there you have it guys. Now let's go to ElevenLabs and go deeper into this program. Okay guys, so here we are inside of ElevenLabs. So first things first, you will need an account to take advantage of this Voice Actor Payouts program. If you don't have an account yet, I will leave a link in the description below so you guys can subscribe. Another important thing to take into consideration is that you need to be subscribed to the creator tier or above at least to be able to upload your professional voice clone. This will run you down $11 the first month, and from there on it is $22 a month if you subscribe to this tier, of course. But if your sole intention is to leave your voice working for you after it has been approved, you can later downgrade to the starter tier. We're going to talk about that a little later in the video. So how do you upload your voice? So you need to go to Voices, and here you need to click on Add Generative or Clone Voice, and you should see a button here allowing you to upload your voice. I have already uploaded mine, so this is blocked for me because as of now ElevenLabs only allows one voice per account. So once you have your recordings ready, which need to be at least 30 minutes, but they suggest up to 3 hours for the best quality, you need to upload them here. Complete your voice details such as the name you'll use, the tags, the description. We'll go into that a bit later. And once you have all that ready and submitted, you need to wait around a day, and your voice should be approved and ready to be used by ElevenLabs users. So now let's go ahead and check the voice I have uploaded, which is this one, Isabela. This is actually my girlfriend's voice, by the way. We decided to start a second ElevenLabs account and test the waters with a female voice first and see how we do before deciding to scale our efforts further. More on that later in the video, by the way. So as you can see, we're targeting a very specific sub-niche, which is children's book narration. My girlfriend's voice is actually pretty adept for that. So that's an important tip right there. You need to try and play to your strengths if you decide to upload a voice. And another important thing to consider is the approach we are following of focusing on one specific niche. I think that that's the way to go as of now. I do think that the market is already pretty saturated with generic type of voices. So a good way to stand out is to try to make yourself a presence in a very specific sub-niche. Another important consideration is that we do mention that the voice has been trained with Spanish native samples. As I have mentioned in previous videos, the quality of your outputs depends on the quality of your inputs. So if you are looking for a voice that sounds native, it is better to choose a voice that has actually been trained with native samples of that language, of the language you are targeting. So anyway, we do mention Spanish in the title. Now let's take a look into the description that we have decided to use for this voice. So as you can see, we did a pretty short description by starting with a description of the voice itself. An Argentinian woman born and raised with a pleasant, feminine and calm and melodic Latin American Spanish voice, Castellano. I think it is important to clarify what type of accent the users are going to be hearing when they generate content with your voice, in case your language has many variations. For example, not many people know, unless they speak Spanish, that European Spanish is pretty different from Latin American Spanish in terms of pronunciation. So I think it is important to clarify that. Trained with 100% Spanish samples. Again, we emphasize on the fact that our voice has been trained with native Spanish samples, so the outputs will sound Spanish native. Ideal for children's books, stories, narration, YouTube children content, or anything that requires a maternal and soft-spoken female voice. So here we reaffirm that our voice fits the children's content use case best. So in the labels, you can pick up to 5 labels. And here we have focused on language. We mentioned it is Spanish, content, storytelling, accent. We mentioned it is Latin American, style, narration, and use case. Again, we mentioned it fits best children's stories. Also, another important thing to take into account regarding labels is that they probably play a significant role SEO-wise inside of ElevenLabs Voice Library search engine, meaning that you should think of them not only as informative in terms of letting the user know what they are going to find exactly when they use your voice, but also think of them as keywords, as in what type of keywords would a user type into the voice library search bar if they were trying to find a voice like yours, or trying to find the voice that fits the use case that you are aiming for, if that makes sense. Okay, so now let's check out the sharing setup options we have used for this voice. Both sharing and discovery in voice library are enabled, which is important so other users can use your voice and find it in the voice library. Something else we can see here is that this voice has been used by more than 1,000 users, which is pretty good for a voice that is 16 days old, but more on that a bit later on. Now let's go and check library options to see what other setups we have decided for this voice. Okay, so as you can see, we have a few sharing options to play with here. First of all, you need to make sure that financial rewards are enabled. The alternative is to earn generation characters every time someone uses your voice, which is not the case here. We want to make money, so we make sure this is toggled on. Now about the notice period, as you can see, we have set ours to 2 years. This basically means that if we decide to remove our voice, all the people that have already added our voice to their voice labs will still have access for 2 years and still be able to use it, but it won't be accessible for users that have not added the voice to their voice lab. It will immediately disappear from the voice library, but yet there will still be users that are going to be able to use it. So something to ponder about when setting up the notice period. You will earn more money for longer notice periods, and it will also probably attract more users since they will feel more compelled to invest in voices that have longer notice periods. So yeah, a couple of things to take into account there. Now about the rate, as you can see, you can choose a default rate or a custom rate. In our case, we have set up ours to the default. As you can see, as of now, our voice with this rate earns around 3 cents per 1,000 characters generated. You can set a custom rate and increase this to whatever you want, but I do believe it has a limit. Let's check it out. Yep, you can go as high as 20 cents per 1,000 characters. Now, if your voice is new, I would leave it set up to the default rate. That will probably attract more users in the beginning, because if you set it to custom, your voice will turn immediately into a custom rate voice, which will show up in the library as a more expensive voice. Now we will explore that a bit later. So basically, my recommendation, if you want to get some initial tracking, I would leave the rate with default. You will earn less money, but you will probably get more users. And once you have an interesting user base, you can decide to increase your rate later on, which is our plan. Now about live moderation, this is basically a safety filter that stops users from generating content in prohibited categories with your voice, such as adult content, for example. So there are some pros and cons about toggling this on. The pros, of course, have to do with safety and concerns that are very reasonable about people using your own voice and generating dubious content. But the cons is that this basically doesn't work every time as per ElevenLabs, and also it increases the latency of the voice. So that would probably dissuade users from using it, and it might even be a waste, since users could still be able to generate prohibited content even with live moderation enabled. So we have basically decided to leave this toggle off, since our voice targets children's content and is a voice that is not very suitable for malicious uses. So we are taking our chances here, and we believe it won't affect us as much if we leave this toggle off. Now, regarding custom voice preview, this basically allows you to select the sample that people are going to hear when they click the sample button in the voice library. My suggestion would be that you pick a relevant one. You first need to generate it, of course. As you can see, you can use generations that contain between 70 and 150 characters. So yeah, basically I would generate a relevant one that fits your use case. We haven't set up one for our voice already yet, but the auto one sounds pretty good, but still the plan is to create a custom voice preview for our voice as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the metrics to see how our voice is doing. So let's recall that it has been used by more than 1,000 users already. Now, these are the generations that we have since the day we started. So as you can see, we launched this voice in March 26th, so it is around 17 days old, if my math is correct. So yep, you can see that generations are pretty cyclical. We have some low days and some high days, but the voice is definitely getting some traction. We did see an important increase in the last few days. So yep, basically we are still in the initial stages, and we are doing pretty good, I think, when compared to other voices. Now let's go ahead and take a look at something that I'm pretty sure you guys have been waiting about, which is earnings. For this, we need to go to payouts. Okay, so here we are in the payout section. Now, for full transparency, the earnings you're about to see correspond to a period that goes from March 26th to April 16th. When I originally recorded this part of the video a few days ago, some sort of issue seems to have arisen and the progress wasn't saved. So a few days ago, the earnings amount was around $41. Now, a few days later, the earnings are $53.30. So again, that's a 3-week period. And I think it is a pretty good amount, again, considering what other voices are making. So anyways, this is what we have made up to now. Let's now discuss a few tips regarding scaling and how to maximize profit with this new business model. Okay, so to make a few of my points regarding maximizing profits and scaling up this business model, let me use the voice library. Let's first rule out a couple of factors that are not entirely under our control. Say your voice, for example, gets picked for the weekly top picks. That would be luck as a factor. Of course, you're going to see more generations from the additional traffic. Or say that your voice happens to fit a very specific use case for a user that needs a lot of volume. You are going to be very benefited from that as well, in comparison to users that don't fit that use case at least. So talent is another factor that plays an important role here. There are some voices making north of $600 to $800 a month from this. For example, let's sort using most characters generated. Take Dan, for example. The user that has uploaded this voice is easily making that amount, but he's probably a voice actor that has trained for many years. So that's that to take into consideration. Take Ryan Kirk as well. He's probably making some decent amount from this program, but again, probably a voice actor. So how could you scale up your efforts with this business model? Well, one way to do it is with more voices. As of now, ElevenLabs only allows one professional voice clone per account, but you can create more paid accounts and upload more voices. And one way to do that is to do it within a niche. Say, for example, our voice that is doing well within the children's book niche could be expanded with a second voice that targets characters in children's stories. So that would be one way to expand. You could do it with as many voices as you'd like, as long as it fits your niche, or as long as the new voices fit your specific talents or capabilities. Let's see an example. Say David Martin. You can see that he names his voice with a name and a number. So that is a clear indicator for users that there are more voices of his uploaded in the library. Sarah Martin is another example. Martin Osborne 4, so this guy has at least 4 voices. So anyway, you can see that this is very doable. Of course, he most likely has different descriptions for each voice. So each voice fits a very specific use case. Let's see, for example, what he has put here. Middle-aged man with Spanish Castilian voice, perfect for suspense and intense characters. So here he's targeting suspense and intense. And he mentions that this is for characters. Now let's check Martin Osborne 2. So here, as you can see, he's targeting intimate and warm styles. So yep, he is definitely doing pretty good. You can see that his different voices have many millions of generations. So anyway, that is as of now the only way we have to scale this up. So in terms of maximizing profits, you might be thinking that, well, if I want to upload new voices, that would cost me $11 the first month, and after that $22 the subsequent months, since we need a creator account to upload a professional clone voice. Well, that is correct, but once your voice is uploaded, you can later downgrade to a starter account that costs only $5, which means that, yep, you would incur in a cost of $11 the first month per voice. But once it has been uploaded, which now is happening within hours, you can downgrade your account. So in the second month, you are paying only $5 a month per voice. So if your voices are making more than $5 a month, that's a profit right there. So yep, those are the ways we have as of now to upscale this business model. And as I said, there are many little things and tactics that we could implement to increase even more our profits and try to get more traffic to our voices, doing some cross promotions. But again, that is a topic for a whole new video, because it is a very extensive topic. So if you'd like to see such a video here, please let me know in the comments below. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if this content was of any value to you, and see you on the next video.